Hello, hello, and a very good morning wherever you're watching us from. My name is Mukami Wambora. I'm filling in for Willis Raburu as we discuss relationships. Now, relationships is not my forte. In fact, my sister laughed when she found out I'll be leading the discussion. But the good thing is I have a lovely panel to guide me through this. And today's discussion, no money, no love. Want to hear from you as well. Our question for the day is, why do some men have a problem dating a woman that makes more money than them? Use the hashtag Daybreak and we'll be sampling some of your views in the show. Let me introduce my lovely panel. We have Non-Sizzy. Yes. Yes, I've been practicing the whole time. She's a publicist. Then we have Radio Citizen's Shatta Boy with us as well. Yeah, and CJ Atemo.
How are you doing?
I'm good, I'm good. Welcome, guys.
All
so,
right.
I'll start ladies first. Why don't you tell us why, like how big of a factor is money in relationships today?
It's not just in relationships, it's in everything. No money, no nothing. Like, who can survive in this? No, nowhere. If you don't have money, you literally can't live. So, it's just that it comes to love, no money, no nothing. We can't literally live without money. So even in love or in relationship, it's one of the factors, but it needs to be well discussed because, I don't know, maybe Coach can back me up on this, I don't know if I'm right, but according to research, majority of, let's say, marriages and relationship, the split is not even because of what we think, cheating. It's because of finances.
Well, it's a huge part. It's one of the largest factors when it comes to marriages dissolving or relationships dissolving, because people don't quite communicate well when it comes to money. It's not really a money factor. It's mostly the view that people have towards money, their attitude towards money, and their ability to communicate or the inability to communicate about money. And sometimes it's a bit uncomfortable for some people to talk about that. There are various roles that people play when it comes to money in a relationship. I think it's just a matter of how the two people would be open to each other. But money is a huge factor. Yeah.
Shatta Boy, in your dating life, from when you started out as a hustler, as you've been going up the scale, how has dating changed? Have you now started more women in gang DMing you and stuff?
Sasa if wakianza kuni DM saa hii itakuwa ni juu ya do. Na sasa hizo sitajibu. But that said, I think money is a factor in relationships. Lakini it is the boy child's money that is the factor. Sawa. Do ya boy child ndio factor in the sense that kama boy child ana do saa hii hauna mapenzi. In fact, someone was saying love ni kama token za stima saa hii. Pesa yako ikiisha unabaki kwa blackout for the boy child. That is the biggest problem we have. You utaenda kudate them leo kama unadua kusikilize. They won't listen to you if you don't have money.
You're nodding your head.
I'm like, oh, it's 50-50. It's because women will love stability. I want to look at you and imagine you can be able to take care of me, or you have tendencies. There are signs.
Can't you see potential?
No, actually, that's another thing I want to say. You don't have to look like, you don't have to have the money there and then. You get what I'm saying? You need to look like you have a sense of being able to take care of me. If I'm coming to your left to talala nja, let me tell you, love will never pay rent. I'm waiting up from Kado. Then at the end of the month, you tell the landlord, hey, man,
we love each other.
It doesn't work like that.
Lakini kwani lazima pesa ya bochel ndo lipe rent?
But you see, that's another thing.
Both of you can bring money on the table.
Coach is saying communication.
And Coach, what happened back in the day, like our parents' time? They used to start dating when they don't have money, they build each other, and then that's how the relationship progressed. How has it changed in our culture, and what are some of the factors behind that?
It has changed because we are more aware of what we'd call a better lifestyle. People have greater aspirations right now. In the past, all somebody wanted to have is a family. And the family was part of a larger community. So a woman would want to get married, move from her parents' home to go to the husband's home, and she would know she would be catered for. in a sense, the economic realities of that time and now are a bit different because we have more people pushing their way into the urban areas, trying to scale the career ladders. They want to go farther, they want to get more, they want to live better. So the pressure now, the economic pressure now, is greater than it was before. The simplicity that our parents had is a bit lost right now. Everybody feels they can go for it. And you see, today, the girl will not wait for the man to go and work and then come and marry them, because she can also go out and get it. So if a man, if Shatta is going to meet a lady who is already paying for her mortgage in Kileleshwa, now he's going to be challenged because traditionally the man would provide. So he'll be challenged because then he begins to ask himself, what is my role in this woman's life? She already seems like she's got her house, she's paying for her house, she's bought her car. So he will feel displaced by the fact that his traditional role is already challenged.
So it's sort of a catch-22. It's like,
yeah,
it's a catch-22. If the woman is making more money, you're intimidated. If it's all on the boy child, you're like, why wouldn't they date me?
Hapo kwa kuwa displaced, mwenye akona do mimi displaced, no problem with my responsibilities. Kama tunashare. But unajua, the pressure that will come with a woman that is making more money than you is if that money she's making trickle down kwa family. Kama ni yako pekee inatumika na yake itumiki, ndio pressure inakuja in life. But if she's making more money and you're making money, but mnakuja, mnashare, mnaagree, you'll do this, I'll do this, there can't be pressure. But if she says pesa yake ni yake, haizi parent, and you have pesa kidogo kumliko, and you have to do everything else, na yeye do yake unaona akidevelop watu wao, na wewe watu wengi wanakuangalia, wanashanga what is wrong with you, hapo ndo pressure inaanzia.
Now we're joined by DNG on Skype. I want him to chime in on the conversation. You've heard what Shatta Boy is saying. Is all of the responsibility on the boy child when it comes to money in relationships?
First and foremost, good morning. Glad to be here. So first and foremost, I think money only matters if you're in Kileleshwa, Kilimani, and maybe a little bit of Hurlingham into Lavi, Maze. Because if you consider, these are the Chiles who are being lipiwad rent by dudes. These are the Chiles who perhaps they don't have kazi, but they're living their life or they want to live their life. That's where money becomes a problem. If you look at it in the slum, mtaani manze, uko do inahusika namna gani? Uko ni unanipea nini? Mitika iko sawa, tuende. You know, even in Kakuma camp, you find people in relationships, in marriages, they're having children. Those are refugees. So how can you tell me that money there matters? It's not a universal doctrine. I think money only matters to women who are looking to step up that class ladder, move from point A to B. That's where it becomes a factor. If a woman is confident in herself, really, at what point does she need the money?
Yeah, interesting point from DNG. Like, Shatta Boy, why are you dating the women who want money? You think there are not women who don't want money? Though you're saying those simplicity relationships CJ was talking about, you can find them in the slums and other areas. Why are you looking for those, what are they?
You wouldn't know. Love does not choose. Love does not say, huyu anapenda do. You get in it, then realize actually, hii ndo character ya mtu. Then you move to another one, the same thing happens. You move to another one, the same thing happens.
Me, I'm lost. Who doesn't love money? Who doesn't love money? Even the men.
When you, of course, everyone loves money, and it is a good thing to love money. But when you make money your master, the problem starts there. Money is a good slave.
But men look for the slay queens, the ones who are looking nice, dressing nice. So, of course, when you meet them, you have to maintain their lifestyle.
Slay queens look
you
for
go
men.
look for the simplicity.
It's the other way around. Slay queens look
No,
for
they
men.
look for each other. They look for each other. There's an environment.
Well, you see, if you bait yourself, for me, and I come start talking to you.
Why are you there to be baited?
And I start thinking I followed you, yet you baited yourself.
Why are you there to be baited?
Because that is what you're looking for, and you know to catch me.
All I'm saying is, whether you're in the slums or wherever you are, nobody doesn't want better. Right. Nobody doesn't want better. I think it's a matter of, like the way our coach here told us, communicate from the word go. And you see the thing, it's okay to want better. It's okay to want to drive a good car. It's okay to want the better life than your mother had or where you're born. Simply because I'm born in the village or I'm born in the, then mean I stay there. That's why we strive to be better. Just say, watu watafutane, and I said this last time. Me, if I want a BMW, Akishata, if you're giving me a Toyota, just stay there with your Toyota. You will get someone who wants your Toyota. Me, let me look for the one who will give me a BMW. It's fine. Watu watafutane. Kama ni kujengana, jenganeni from scratch. Tumeamua sisi tunataka kununua kaploti. Tushikane tununue kaploti. But don't look for someone who wants this and they can't give them, and you start frustrating them.
And each other. Now, have any of you dated a partner who does not work? I want to hear about that. Where you're the only one who's earning the money in the relationship and they're not working. Maybe DNG, you can chime in.
Maybe job loss.
I love it, man. Loving the conversation. I think first we need to consider that the problem is not whether somebody wants money or not. I think we're all about self-preservation and growth, and we all want to grow, and we are all aspirational beings, right? But the challenge is where somebody wants freebies. That's where the problem begins. And if you look at our nation and our generation as young people, we are a freebie generation. We want handouts from MPs, we want handouts from everybody. So when you date somebody, you think this is your father. I'd like to tell all women watching in and tuning into this broadcast that when you are dating a man, do not look for a parent. This is not your father. This is not somebody supposed to be taking care of you. Hapana. Baba yako ndio anafaa kupe pesa. Mwanaume wako anafaa tu akupende.
Bas.
So let us put us in the stand, tafadhalini. Let us not get mixed up. Love should be separated from provision.
Thank you.
That is my opinion.
But, okay.
Yes.
Coach is
All right,
laughing.
yeah, I'm laughing because I wanted to rein in the first thing that that DNG said. If you remember, a few years ago, there were cases of women who were prostituting to fishermen just for them to get food. So this is not anything to do with the social economic class. It's not about Kilimani. It's not about Kileleshwa. It happens in the villages. It will happen even in those refugee camps. You will find that there are people who will be selling their bodies just to try and take care of themselves. If there's somebody who will come in, either from the city or anywhere else, and they've got a bit more money to give them, that happens a lot. There's a lot of abuse in such cases because everybody wants better. So that's not just a Kilimani thing. And I think that even the people that we would call the Kilimani people, I think a lot of them didn't grow up in Kilimani. They worked their way from Eastlands to Kilimani. But then again, I think when two people are in love, they've got to set the rules for themselves. Like, we cannot come in with strong positions and say, I cannot do this or I will not do this, because every relationship is very unique. You could be dating somebody who's not working, but they're playing other roles in ensuring that you make money. You could be married to somebody, we talked about that before, that you could be married to somebody who's a stay-at-home wife, but then she's enabling you to go out and work because they're giving you the peace of mind, they're taking care of all the other things that you wouldn't take care of, that if they were not at home, you probably would have to split your time before your home and your work. It's a whole matter of understanding the roles that the both of you would play in the team that you are in.
Interesting comments there. Shatta Boy, from what you're discussing, what's your ideal relationship? What would you want from the woman you're dating?
I generally just want people to avoid shortcuts. Let me tell you, the reason as to why money is a factor in relationships right now is because we want shortcuts. People don't want to follow the process. Unataka umite mtu leo, wewe hujaitafuta do, mtu ako na do yake, umeomoka. You see, the moment money started commanding respect from everyone, if you are a last born in a family and it's you that has money, you command respect. People listen to you than your elder brothers. You speak and they follow because you have money. You see, so at the society, when a woman has money, more money than me, she will think she does not need me. That is the problem. Money has become a master. You have money, you don't need a man. And a man comes on board thinking, okay, now she has money, what do I bring? Inakuwa mlima ingine. Unaanza kufeel, hey, I'm not the man here. I can't even talk when I need to talk. I can't say this, I can't do this. Unaelewa? But for me, an ideal relationship is for people to stop looking at what they can see in a relationship. Like, I'm seeing this, there's money here, I'll go for it. people need to be, just look at what your parents used to do. They grew up together. Like your mom would make your dad this, your dad would make your mom this. Not your mom did just find your dad like this and now they lived like that. No, it was a journey. These people built each other. Right now, no one wants to build the other. You just want to come as a package. Yo, I'm like this, you're like that. Okay, let's do this. That is the problem.
I'm just laughing because I remember there's a joke that was seen going around in the village. If you don't have money or in a family, you aulizangu utakunywa soda gani? Unapatiwa stoni ama Sprite.
But yeah, even in the village, it's one of those where you still look for the richest person in the village. The women still look for the richest person in the village. But
having said that, I think, and I would want to emphasize this with Coach, it's the attitude that we have towards money. And if you start digging deeper into finances and how you relate with money, you realize that most of us have a very bad attitude towards money. And we see money as this tool that you can use maybe to manipulate, or you want it because when I have money, I have power and no one can tell me anything, which, well, that's how it has been portrayed to be, because even if we look at the state of, I mean, most countries, if people have money, they have the power. But there's no time that money will ever substitute for a partner.
True.
Never. As much as we are looking for it, as much we will. And no, me, I don't like poverty. I don't like suffering. But there's no time that money will ever substitute for a human being. That human touch connection, I don't think so.
I think there's the issue of who makes the money, and then there's also the issue of who manages the money. Sometimes the person who doesn't make as much money is a better manager. Again, that is why it comes to the place of the two people communicating, understanding each other.
But would the person who makes more money allow the person who doesn't make more money
They
to
would.
manage the money?
They would, because, I mean, people employ accountants, people employ lawyers, people employ managers just to run the various aspects of their lives. I don't think it would be a problem to allow your partner to do that, as long as you feel that they're watching out for your interest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nancy, you said you like money, you like...
Me, I love.
You want
Actually,
comfort,
not like
you love money,
I
and
love
you want
money.
company. Now, let's say you get a partner.
Yeah.
You guys fall in love. He's doing really well at the time you meet him, and then he loses his job.
Yeah.
What next in such a situation?
I don't believe in leaving people because they've lost their job. Anybody can lose a job. Even I would lose a job. And if this is someone I would want to settle down with, and I'm serious at that point, why not hold them down, you know? But there's a disclaimer.
Even if the caliber of your lifestyle goes down.
You see, when in such a situation, what happens is if you're settled or you had started merging your incomes, you sit down and evaluate, hey, what do we need to cut down? What if we had loans, what do we go and talk to banks so that we can arrange, I mean, how we can pay these loans? Because I'm figuring out by the time you guys are together, you have talked about through these things, because people don't talk through these things.
Yeah, Coach, how often is that? You know, the people
don't
who you
talk
can
about
look, yeah, they
finances.
don't, you don't know how much money is in the other person's bank account. You guys, you just come together. Like, how open are people in relationships that they even reveal their finances?
No, they're not open.
It's very
Like accounts.
You know,
In the future.
you see what I talked about, the attitude towards money and our relationship with money. You can imagine that this is somebody that you give your body to, but then you are scared of them knowing how much you have. I mean, how warped is that kind of thinking? How warped is that kind of thinking that you can undress before this person, give your body, probably even by the third day you've met them, because this generation doesn't wait. You know, by the second sleepover, you're giving your body. But then look at how people make money a secret. that somebody will be with somebody like for 7 years and they don't know their financial dealings. That's idolatry in a sense, like you're idolizing this thing. So I think that the money conversation, why it becomes hard is our attitudes towards it. It's our myths around it. Some of those are traditional beliefs, some of those are socialization, some of them are because, you know, you never had your parents be open about things like money. You were not taught to be open about it. You were told your money is your money, keep it. You know, everything about your money is supposed to be a secret. Parents die before their children even know what property they have. They never train their children to take over their inheritance because this money thing is a taboo. It needs to come in early. People need to have that conversation very early. Like when you're talking about who's paying for the coffee, you need to start.
Are we going Dutch?
Yeah, you start talking about those conversations again. Yeah.
Let me bring DNG in. For you, in the relationships you've had, or in general, how soon into that relationship do you reveal your finances, if at all?
Yani, for me, let me say, first and foremost, if you find a woman who is materialistic, disperse, yani run away.
What is materialistic? Define materialistic.
Materialistic woman is a woman who is all about chums, bana. Yani, kwa nyumba kila kitu tunazungumzia ni pesa, baby my hair, baby my nails, baby my waxing.
But if you saw her doing her nails, you fell in love with her nails nice and her hair nice.
Then why should I start doing your nails then?
We cannot politicize relationships, bana.
And if I'm assisting you making that money for nails, why should I not ask you for it?
Personally, I've had an experience where I've dated a woman who was all about truths. It was the downfall of our relationship. So I'm talking about experience. Because for me, I'm a hustler. You know, I'm a businessman. From ground zero to where I am today, you know, step by step. And money is made, it's a journey. I like what somebody said earlier. It's a journey. Mnafaa kujengana. But somebody is coming to take. What are they contributing, bana? Mtu hata contribute anything. Yeye anataka tu.
Shata na watu.
Unajua, every time tukikaa chini tuongee, I keep saying this word everywhere I go. Relationships need to be redefined. In this society we've grown and we are living in, a man is a provider. You see, that is what you grow. Ukijua I am a provider. Na dem hana sense of your responsibility ya kuprovide. Sawa sawa. That is why when you leo unaenda kuongea na dem yako muulize payslip yake, akuulize what do you want with my money? Na anajua payslip yako. Okay, and if you don't disclose your payslip, it becomes a problem. But for her, it is okay for her not to. And if you ask people around you, they be like, unataka nini na pesa ya dem? You see, even your peers would be like, wewe wacha hizo. Na rafiki zake pia watamwambia hii pesa yako hufai kumwambia ni ngapi. You see, that is the problem. It needs, you see, when that used to happen, a girl child was disadvantaged because hakuwa anapatiwa zile privileges boy child alikuwa nazo. But right now, we are on an equal platform. We are making the same money.
That's stretching it. We're not but
we are headed here.
That's a real stretch.
So but where we are right now,
let me back
kama ni do, we are tuna make do the same. Kama tuko tunafanya kazi same na yeye, sipewi pesa mingi kumliko because I am a man. Sawa. That is what I'm saying. So imagine I'm living with her. We are earning the same, but I don't know her pay slip. She won't bring it on the table tukika kwa nyumba tuongee. Isn't that pressure on me? If we ever separate, yeye anabaki na do yake, yangu tulitumia tukiishi. What happens to me?
So, let's assume you're not living with me, you're married. So that's another thing. By the time you want to disclose your finances, please demystify that relationship you have with that man. Don't start, oh, now we can build this together, and you've not seen a certificate whether you're married or not. Then you build a whole empire, and then afterwards, you know, even if you have children, doesn't identify that we are married. That, having said that, there is unity when you put everything together. There's unity in strength. It's only that we have painted, and I know women will beat me with stones for this. We have painted scenarios where, fine, bibi anafaa kuwa na account. Sisemi sikuwe na kale account. Sasa kukiwa kubaya, fine, nitatoa pesa, you know, nitatoa za chama. But if there's a way people, because many people that I've seen build themselves together, from the couples that you look up to, they've put this unity when you put finances together, when you say, okay, you do this, you do that. We are working towards a common goal, which would, in real sense, would be a very nice, ideal situation if both of you are on the same page. I mean, I don't know what you'd say about that.
You know, I agree with Shatterboy that things have changed. But again, I will say this, that every woman needs to have some miscellaneous money. To be honest, it will not work if you tell a woman to bring all her money to the table, because then she feels she has to keep on coming back to ask for a lot of little expenditure, which they're very uncomfortable with. Shatterboy is looking at me.
Yeah, it's anyways.
Hata sisi tuko na experiences zetu tunanyamaziaga tu.
But you see,
Okay, you maybe your hair also,
you see,
so you
generally,
understand the
Shatterboy,
problem.
generally, the man, no matter what happens, the man will still be the caregiver in many ways. So finances is just a part of this. It's not the whole thing. He's still the caregiver. He's still the protector. He's still the shelter over this woman over here. So the finances is just a part of it. That's why we have to debunk the myth of money as being something that is taboo. We have to make it a very casual relationship. Why? Because at your workplace, there are people who know how much you earn. The person who pays the salary, the person who determines your salary, all of these people know it. Why would it be a secret to your partner? And that is the same even for the ladies. Like, why would a lady keep it a secret? And yet, the person who pays you knows, your banker knows how much you're being paid. There are quite a number of people who know how much you're being paid. So why would it be a secret to your partner? The thing is to sit at the table and say, look, this is how much I make. I get 50K. But then I want to bring in this amount to the table, and I would like you to leave me with this for the things that I need to do. If there is that understanding, it should not be a problem. I don't think that any good or genuine partner would want to leave their other partner at a disadvantage. It's just openly talking and saying, because I've got these other things that I would also like to do. Allow me to keep this. It's conversations, conversations, conversations.
But what about the reverse, Shatterboy? Would you be okay to be in a relationship where the woman is making all the money because you're complaining being the provider? What if the roles are reversed? How would you handle that?
Thank you. Nilikuwa nataka kuongea hiyo kitu sasa ulisema. Unafanya vizuri umeirudisha. I don't think wanaume wengi wanaweza kuwa comfortable in that situation. In fact, they would sabotage that relationship because of the society we live in. That man will be scolded and looked down upon at every turn they make. Wewe umewekwa, that is the word, umewekwa unatuambia nini? You get, he will not have a voice. That man rather ameapa kileleshwa enda ishikayole kwa bed sitter yenye anajilipia because society imemuonesha hufai kulipiwa bills na mdem. You see, if you could change the conversation to an extent that people would know that check, I had a job, my job is gone, now my woman is earning, she can take care of our bills, and it is okay. If that happens and the conversation changes to a boy child to understand that is not pressure, I think we would move forward.
Okay,
But right now, atuko hapo. Right now, tuko pali. If you don't have money as a man, wewe sio mwanaume.
Okay, let's read some comments on Twitter. We have Barnabas Moya who says, masculinity norms discourage men from being vulnerable. When a woman makes more, it has the potential to damage your self-esteem and self-worth. The norm suggests that a man should be the breadwinner. We adhere to the belief that men must be able to provide financially. So exactly what you were saying. Then we have Isaac the Great. He says, this thinking of no money, no love has made relationships to be commercialized. Someone selling a service to the highest bidder. These, at the long run, gives men entitlement because of the investment that they have done to the lady, which now brews conflicts. Then ladies manipulate men with sex. I think nonsense. You can talk a bit about that. That whole entitlement that men get once now they've invested money in you, they've bought for you that car, that BMW that you were talking about. And now you must do everything that they ask. Is there a sense of that in such relationships?
Also, if you invest, so if
like the power, that men are now entitled, feel more entitled to you because they have provided for you all of those things.
Yeah, it's a thing of money and power. So if I'm doing this, see, I've danced to your tune, then imagine if I cough, unaitika. I think that's how people have painted it, or that's how it is, which I don't. Again, a woman is meant to be taken care of, and the needs of a woman are many. Yani, let me tell you, even our bills for the month, we can never sit down and have the same bills.
To be taken care of ndo niko na issue.
Why?
See, you are making money.
I don't have a problem. You see, I don't have a problem taking care of myself, but I don't know if, now I'm about to go into my mother tongue. I want to be assisted. Fine, I have 5,000. Please, could you add? Because that's how you will feel useful. Because if yes, and Atemo will back me up. If you start doing everything for yourself and you're not asking for any help, that man will start asking questions. Am I right?
That's true. That's the displacement that I talked about initially. But the question she earlier asked on, the disadvantage, would a man want to be in a relationship where the woman makes all the money? Some men, yes. There's still some men who are comfortable doing that, and there are quite a number of, there are a lot of people.
But are they faithful to that one woman who's making all the money, or do they then become the bank account, and then now they use that money they receive to now take care of the other women that
you see,
they
one
have?
of the challenges that we have today, one of the challenges is that we have a lot of suspicion in relationships. Just the same thing she's saying, that if the woman pays for all her bills, the man will begin asking questions. We have this trust issue that then we carry it into money. That if the woman is bringing in all the money and the man has no job, then the woman thinks that the money I'm giving him is going with it to another woman. Or if the woman can take care of herself, then the man will be thinking there's another man. These are trust issues. They're not really truths. And if two people, if you know your partner, you can have a very faithful partner, but he's just lazy. He can be, his virtue may be he's very faithful, but then he may have the vice of being very lazy. Mostly you'll not get everything in one person sometimes.
It's unfair to even ask for.
Then you can find one who is very hardworking, but they're not faithful. They're making the money, they're bringing the money as well, but they're not faithful. You've got to know your partner. You cannot generalize. You've got to know your partner. You can't use what you get in the various groups, in the men's talk or the girls' groups, and then bring it to somebody. It would be very unfair for you to begin judging your man based on the experiences of your girlfriends, or to begin judging your woman based on what the boys are saying. It would be very unfair to do that.
Now, let me bring in DNG. Would you date a woman who is making more money than you? Or have you? Maybe you already have.
Two answers to that question. Currently, it would be interesting to date a woman with money, as I mean today, who have reached in life. In the past, it would be a disaster. I'll give you an example. I once dated a daughter of a prominent politician. Kitambo sana. I was in university. So this mama bana would drive, she'd come see me where I'm at mtaani, but when it comes to time for dates, nini, babe, meet me in this place, Alfajiri, oh my God, sina hata Ferrari, nimechomeka, nimechanikiwa. So obviously that was a mismatched relationship. It's also dangerous to date a woman who perhaps loves these chums too much, because kukikaukiwa, as a man, utatorokwa. And we've seen that even in recent times in media. I know you guys have been highlighting this scenario of this prominent artist who bibi yake alitoka akamwacha akaendea chali mwingine ambaye akona pesa. You know what I'm saying? So that is the reality of all these women who love money. Those are bad women. As hustlers we say, kuna principle. Mwanamke mpenda pesa hawezi jenga nyumba. So if you're looking for a good time, that woman is okay. But if you're looking for something long term, avoid completely. Look for somebody humble.
What is humility? I'm offended, DNG. What is humility? Why? You can't say that, because and this is the thing, Aki, and I know women who are watching. Oh, she's a humble woman. If I'm ambitious, no, I'm not humble. If I want to make better strides and get my PhD, and it's okay, leave me, it's fine. It's fine.
but I think DNG amesema in respect to money. Amesema if a woman loves money, if she's in a relationship because of money,
You see,
that one you run
my
away
love
from.
How do you tell? How
my
do you
love
tell?
for fine life. My love for fine life. Why am I being punished?
Love
for it?
what you can provide for
If
yourself.
I can, if I'm
You
working
see,
towards
what-
it,
what-
and if I have a goal towards it, why should I be
then
punished?
as long as you're on that goal and working towards it, you should not pressure a boy child to give you
What if I'm
what you
pressuring
can't
you to
afford.
become better? We
No, no,
become
no.
better together.
We have enough pressures in this life.
No.
As opposed to you adding on to the pressure.
So
If you
if you
the
get
biggest
if you
problem-
get an ambitious woman, it's a problem. If
No,
you get a
look,
lazy
if
one,
she's
it's a problem.
ambitious,
You want.
there's a difference
22.
between ambition and pressure. You see, if you're pressuring me to give you what I can't afford and what you can't afford for yourself, now that is pressure. That is not ambition.
Listen, here is the thing. If I want what I want, and I don't have it now, but I'm working towards it, I love a fine life. I don't have a problem with that. And I'm telling you, Shatta, let's do this. Let's strategize. Let's target for that client, and we make better so that we can go there. Why am I being
Sawa.
punished?
Now we are two in this relationship, Sindio.
Eh.
There is what you want.
Yes.
You want us to work towards what you want, Sindio.
No, no, no.
What about what I want?
I have no problem.
When do we work towards
Hey,
what I want?
coach this relationship. These guys are fighting.
I'm so glad I'm sitting on this side.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm sitting on this side because they're actually acting like a couple.
Let's treat this as relationship therapy. How would you
But-
advise this couple over here?
You see, they've got to come up with a common goal. So there's what Nonsense is saying, that this is what I want. Then there's what Shatta is saying, that this is what I want. It's a common challenge, actually, because sometimes you find the woman is working so hard. She wants a certain kind of a life, and she's willing to put in the money. Then the man is feeling, I'm not comfortable with that because I want us to live a life where I can sustain us. You know, where if he's earning less, then he feels like we need to move into a house that I can pay. The woman is feeling like, but I've got the money, we can pay a higher house. The man will feel, I don't want to come into a house that you're paying. It's a common kind of thing that comes up. Again, it will come to the place of where are the two of you trying to go? This is where relationships must begin with a destination.
That's true.
It must begin with a destination. If you don't have a common destination that you're going to, you can't board the same vehicle. So many people come into the common vehicle that is called a relationship or a marriage or something. They get in there, then one person is like, I was going to Mombasa. The other one is like, look, I
But
wanted to go
also,
to...
Let's go to
Coach,
Malindi.
and I've noticed, as you grow older, you change, and you're allowed to change, and to, I don't know if on the same page, but you...
Some people change
Yeah,
faster.
you change, and then you're like, oh, I could achieve this. I could
Yeah.
get better.
Yeah.
I think I had set my bar lower. I think I can achieve this. Then the other person remains stagnant.
Now, usually at that particular point, it's usually very difficult if one partner is not growing at the rate that the other partner is growing. It could be either. It could be the man is growing very fast. Socially, mentally, he's growing in scope. He's beginning to see visions of things that he can do. And then probably the wife is not. She begins feeling left out. So it is up to the person that is growing to try and pull the other person that is not. Well, the flip side is that you may have a partner who is not willing
Go up.
to go up with you. They were comfortable with where you are. They're not comfortable with going to the next level. So
So what happens in those situations?
at that particular you
Nikuache
will,
kwa mataa mimi niende nikiendanga ama
That is what they will do.
What do you want them to do?
Yeah, what-
that is what
why
they
should
will
they
do.
slow
You see,
down?
basi hata ukiwaambia lazima tuwaambie ukweli. In these relationships, kama ni husband na wife, hata ukiangalia tu around, ikifika it is the wife that is growing the way you're saying, and the husband is stagnant, she will not turn back to pull his hand.
No, I will imagine. I
will
would.
go.
No. If I
But
try
it
to,
is for the, because why? Society won't judge her. They will say the man was lazy. That is what they will say. But if you are a man and you grow and don't pull her, they will say, uliomoka ukatoka.
I'll tell you one case, Shatta. There's a lady who was more educated than their husband. So they used to have this business, and whenever they would go into boardrooms with their clients, she would feel that the husband was very intimidated. And they were beginning to have an issue around that. So I say to her, why don't you give him your ideas, all your brilliant ideas. Give him your ideas. When you get into the boardroom, let him be the one who shares them. You will still have brought your ideas, but there's a way you will have covered for him. Then begin to affirm him in the morning when he wakes up, he's dressed up, tell him, you've dressed up well, or choose for him what to wear. And I can tell you that it did build a man's esteem. So I don't think that every woman will leave a man because she's growing. We must stop stereotyping.
Ni ukweli tu, lakini for example,
Actually,
you see, like,
Shatta
for
Boy,
that
someone
man-
seems to agree with you on Twitter. And Jorge Jr. is like, I agree with Shatta Boy that what counts is the boy child's cash. There are few girls outside who can look for love for the little you have. Ukiwa broke, mko na yeye,
But we have seen situations
Unatoka.
of ladies
But
who
you
have
see,
built, I mean, you've grown together with someone.
Unaona what Percy has said about that madam mwenye alikuwa anampatia uchali ideas. I wish the society would change the narrative kwa boy child. Ikuwe it is okay when you sit here and your woman gives those ideas. Ukuwe tu poa nayo, ukitoka hapo unasimbia watu, yo, that's my wife, yo. I wifed her.
See, but society
This is my
starts
wife.
with
Let
you.
me
But
tell
society
you.
now
Society
won't do that.
starts with
you.
Society now, society
It
will
starts with
judge
you.
you, will tell you, angalia, huyu ananga akili, bibi yake ndio ufikiria. But
why would you let the one-
And what's
If my
wrong
wife
with-
is giving those ideas, I am proud and I hold her hand and we leave saying, yo, umeua.
But now,
You told them
Shatta, I
the
wish
truth.
you're not living for the society.
So,
We are the
Shatta Boy,
society. We can change the society.
what's your ideal, as we wind up, what's your ideal relationship? You can tell me, then also I want to hear from Nonsizi.
An ideal relationship as it stands right now, I think we need to delink a lot of things from a relationship. Okay, the base of a relationship has always been love, and it should remain love. If we change it to something else that is perishable, or something else that can be taken away in a fraction, then that is no longer love.
Nonsizi.
I remember a friend of mine, I won't mention him because a very, very prominent friend told me, you take control of every other aspect of your life, but sometimes, somehow we think that love life will shape itself somehow. Take control of your love life and communicate. If you're growing at that pace, say, hey, by the time we're marrying me, or by the time we're starting together, I hadn't thought I can achieve this, but I think I'm at this point, and I think I can get here. Do you really want to get here with me? Everything, if you communicate, you'll find yourself in a situation that, Aina, you're not wondering whether to go or not to go. Communication is everything. And take charge, take control. Don't think somehow the heavens or the universe will work this love thing out. Take control and even write down what you want. That's what I would say.
Thank you. Now, DNG, why don't you
Yo.
give us your final comments, your ideal relationship when it comes to how you deal with money?
First, I think we should have and encourage relationships that do not have pressure. Kwa wanaume wote wanaochisho, msipigishwe pressure yoyote ya pesa.
Yeah, man.
Look for a woman who is okay with where you are in life. Your level. Kama wewe ni msoa job, atafuta dem anapenda hiyo job.
Anakuletea mpaka njugu.
Utapata digital chip. Unaelewa?
Yeah, man.
Apart from that, si lazima ikuwe ni historia do. I think history ya money is not a must. Na money shall not be taken by force. Hiyo ni wizi. Kitu ingine, for a woman who maybe wants the guy to provide, let me tell you, create an environment of love, because where there is love thriving, the money shall flow. Hata kama ni shilingi 10 utapewa. Lakini usilazimisha ati lazima ngiri tano, wewe wacha hizo. Ya mwisho, cut your coat according to the size of your cloth. Usijaribu kutafuta dem ambaye sasa zake ni Naivasha na wewe dizi yako bado haijaomoka, utaachwa. Stay in your lane.
Thank you, DNG. Now, Coach, why don't you talk to people out there who are watching and they're in relationships, and some of the biggest problems that they're going through are financial in nature. What would you advise them?
When you come together, as I said, the relationship must be on purpose. There has to be what the two of you are coming to do together. Then money becomes a fuel to the vehicle of your purpose. Because there are people who fight just because they have money. It's not always the lack of money. It's not always the absence of money. There are people who have money, then they don't know what to do with this money. If there is no clarity of purpose, there will be no direction. Decisions will be very difficult to make. But generally, again, our attitude towards money must be what we learned at the most basic level in school, that the definition of money is that it is a medium of exchange. It is not a destination in itself. It is just something that is supposed to help you live life, get what you need, go to the next stage, acquire something, pay for something. So you shouldn't have a relationship with money that is deeper than the relationship with your partner.
I think we can end on that note. You shouldn't have a relationship with money that is deeper than your relationship with your partner. I've learned so much today. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for everyone who contributed on Twitter. And thank you for all of you watching at home. That's it from us here in studio. Have a good day.